Hello again, and welcome back to Broforce Broview. Today we are going to be taking a look at Seth Brundle, based off of Seth Brundle from The Fly. Now, this character is a little bit interesting, and I'm going to have to hit a little bit of baseline beforehand. So, first off, his attack is vomit. He vomits at people, it does a ton of damage, it's amazing. And you'll notice that it leaves these puddles that slowly reach into things. And as you can see, they are able to break destructible blocks. Luckily, I build most of my level with steel, which is unbreakable. That being said, as we continue on, you'll notice that his attacks are fast, but very short range. But they fall off, and they fall down very quickly. So, one thing we can do is actually get higher up, and you'll notice they do go longer. From this angle, and by holding down to get a slightly steeper angle of attack, you can see that Seth actually shoots less like a gun and more like an artillery piece. You also might have noticed that I am able to fly. While flying, you have a little bit of horizontal mobility, and you can either shoot by holding down to shoot close range or not holding anything to shoot at a farther range. Pressing up will instantly drop you out of flight. Because of this, we do get some interesting quirks with his acid. So, while standing next to a block, you'll notice that the acid puddle forms below me when I'm right up next to the wall. However, do remember that the acid bubble itself does have a damage, it's just significantly less than its acid. If I crouch and walk into a block, you'll notice that my acid puddle can actually form on the floors on either side of a single-sided wall. If I do the same thing here, you'll notice it doesn't happen. If you attach yourself to a wall, you can see that no puddles form, just the bubble hitting. And by coming up on this corner, you can kind of see that the bubble itself will fizzle out at a certain range, but can still leave puddles on adjacent blocks. It seems the way the puddle works is effectively wherever the bubble hits an enemy, the adjacent blocks are what get puddled. That being said, his special ability is the ability to teleport. If you hold up while teleporting, you can rocket yourself into the sky. I'm really hoping that they don't get rid of this because it has very little benefit in-game, but it's just fun and quirky. But you are able to teleport yourself over walls and around walls. We'll get into that a little bit more when we start dealing with the special ability section. That said, let's go ahead and move on to combat. So, like most bros, one of the best ways to deal with a mechanical unit is to jump on top, melee it to take it over, and then you can either use it or toss it. However, Seth does have a little bit of a different option. Now, you wouldn't want to do this from above, but from below, Seth is able to jump in, hit the wall, or the floor, and cause the mech to fall. Because his acid can eat away at the ground almost as fast, if not faster, than getting above and melee attacking a mecha. That being said, as we move forward, you will see there are some quirks with this. So, if you get up, as I said before, up against the wall, you'll notice that the puke splat doesn't, or is what hits, not the puddle. Where if you take a step back, you can more accurately destroy a block with your puddle. The puke puddle will eat away at blocks very quickly, so it is definitely one of your go-tos. And now that we're inside, I can kind of demonstrate a little bit of your next movement option. You're able to hang on the ceiling. We will get more into that as soon as we're done with the dogs. So, the dogs go down quickly. However, you might have noticed that while the dogs were still standing, while their skin got covered in acid and was being eaten away, and when they got turned into bones but hadn't yet fallen apart, they were still taking hits. This is something you do need to be aware of and be careful of, because if you're in large groups, you could end up missing your target because you're hitting their dead friends who are running around melting from previous attacks. Anyway, as we go through, now that we can deal with the movement a little bit, let's go ahead and talk about your ceiling cling. So you're able to grab onto the ceiling and hold on to it. If you press down, you will instantly release. However, if you attack, you will drop your attacks directly below you. By holding a direction, you're able to launch the attack further. And you are able to, from a lower position, teleport up onto the ceiling. The teleporting onto the ceiling is a little bit weird because sometimes you'll just teleport above the ceiling, but it can be a oh fuck moment, teleport upwards to get yourself to safety. That being said, when mixed with the ability to fly, this gives you a great power to just go through and deal with people who are just unable to deal with you. Anyway, continuing, you'll notice acid once again will instantly kill the dog, and this will also work with the heavy. And you'll notice that, again, the skeletons, until they start to fall apart, do still share the ability to be hit. So just keep that in mind. As we go on to the pure evils, you'll notice that while I hit a pure evil, the bubble or the puddles will form, but it only hits one pure evil. You do attack fast enough that you are able to kind of walk in, but this is where we do hit that realm we were talking about, where the bodies of the pure evils being melted away are still able to absorb and get hit by your puke, meaning that you're doing less damage or less DPS because you're just hitting the same dead body over and over again. Now, as we go on and move to the special ability, this is where things get a little bit weird. So, very similar to Snake Broskin, who has his hologram, I would actually suggest that you never use Seth's teleport aggressively. So while you can teleport in and use his teleport to kill someone, which does have a little bit of... there's a little bit of fun there. As you can see, you trigger a lot of enemies, and the risk that you're going to get hit by a bullet is just way too high. So instead, I would suggest saving the teleports for movement abilities. It seems to fit a lot better. So instead, for the special ability, I'm going to just kind of demonstrate his special ability to walk on the walls, and then his ability to just run in as a flying death ship. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a reload, and then we will continue. So, similar to before, you can't kill multiple people at the same time, but you do attack with a powerful enough hit that it will just outright kill most enemies. The shield can block it, but only for a couple of hits, as it lowers itself and starts to enter a juggling phase. As you can see here, this is exactly what I was talking about, where I actually did risk dying there because I was hitting the same dead body so many times that the living person behind him was like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you. Anyway, as we move on, the karate chop. He uses his karate chop. I don't think there's anything real special about it. And for his throw, he just throws somebody. Very basic, very simple. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to digging, and we'll go ahead and end this. And I believe Seth is actually my last bro from the Forever update. So, simple enough. You can destroy things without using your acid, or by using the ball of your acid. But it is slower. A nice little hit here, as you saw, is able to take out everything. And your melee attack is faster if you're wanting to just blow up that one block. However, the ability to take out beneath you is very powerful. His ability to walk on the ceiling, meaning the floor is a lot less of a necessity for him, gives him a very interesting mobile outlook when it comes to digging. Especially if you just need to go down. And as you can see, he is able to quickly make his way through a digging arena. Though he isn't the fastest digger, he is able to do it accurately and simply. Going down is not a problem. Going up is a little bit of a problem. However, he can make his way past that without much of an issue by teleporting. So, just to kind of recap everything with Seth, his combat, I would say, is an A. He definitely has S potential with that acid being able to kill just about everything. However, the short range and the awkward angle is a learning curve. That being said, he definitely has the potential to get into the S rank combat if that learning curve isn't too steep. For digging, S rank digging. He's able to quickly take out a number of blocks accurately, and his ability to maneuver while digging does help his digging. His mobility, the ability to fly, as I've shown, even just this simple test of, oh, he could jump about halfway over this gap, or he could jump and then fly and get the whole way over the gap. I mean, that alone is the difference between you fell to your death or not. And then on top of that, he has the ability to walk on the ceiling. He has the ability to teleport for his mobility. Just, I put him down as an S- because the flying is so slow. But like, honestly, he probably deserves like a full S+ rating for that. And his special is an A+. It's risky. I wouldn't use it for combat. I would use it just for mobility and getting past walls. But that being said, just using it for combat, or I mean, just using it for mobility, definitely gives you an A-rank thing. Especially, as you can see here, if you try to teleport through an area you can't normally teleport through, it fizzles out but doesn't use it. Meaning you can, just spam it if you feel like you should be able to. You don't have to worry about accidentally wasting it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this be the end for my Broview of Seth Brundle, or Brondle. Hopefully I was able to help y'all learn how to play this character a little bit better. And as this was the final bro I had to do over for my Broforce Forever, hopefully y'all are enjoying this update. And have fun.